Yeah, so my name is Katia Nicholas. I am the founder and CEO of Good Krama, which is a sustainable fashion label based between Phnom Penh, Cambodia and Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So Good Krama is a ready-to-wear fashion label for women and men. So we create garments and more unisex styles. So we design everything in-house and we source and manufacture everything within Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So for us, it was really important to sort of shed light on another kind of fashion, especially in one of the lands where fast fashion clothing is born. So the idea is to really study what the garment sector is like in Cambodia and what it means. And I came to realize that, Cambodia is heavily reliant on the cut and sew part of the factories, the garment factories, but they are completely dependent on foreign import of textiles. However, all the textile waste ends up in Cambodian landfills. So for me, it was really important to have an upcycling process of using existing fabrics that are discarded by local factories and creating something new out of it. And then in terms of like the social aspect of Good Krama is I wanted to partner only with social enterprises and NGOs that put the garment worker first and that pay a living wage, which is not the case for the legal minimum wage in Cambodia, and also offer the possibility to advance in a career. So you're not just learning to make one seam and the same seam every single day, but you're learning how to construct an entire garment, and you're learning a different set of skills, and you're learning English in the process. So there's a lot of sort of vocational training that comes with the partners that I work with. I think that sustainability in fashion can take many forms, and I think there's no like one cookie cutter answer. It really depends on where you operate and what your direct surroundings are like. I think it's important to take that into consideration when trying to create a circular business model. For me, it was the only way to go. There was no question about it. So it was all about having to tick all the boxes and also learning along the way. How to better our savings, our resource savings, and how to become more zero waste. Green Story has been a really nice encounter because we have me personally being sort of the environmental economist I was. I spent months developing a sort of resource calculating data for my whole supply chain. And then I met Akil of Green Story, and I realized that he could verify all of my numbers and make sure that, what I was calculating was verified against, big industry data and was constantly updated. And so, so I was pleasantly surprised to hear that Green Story existed, and we right away jumped into checking all of my data and making sure I was, calculating correctly. And ever since then, we've continued partnering together. For me, marketing was, I guess, green marketing. Like there wasn't so much differentiation between the two because sustainability was such a huge core part of who Good Krama is as a brand. I've never had a discourse in marketing that is finger pointing, like this fashion is bad, we are good. I'm not like that. I'd prefer to keep like a upbeat tone and still but have like an educational process, because not everyone has the knowledge or the ability to be exposed to this part of the industry. And I think education and teaching and learning from each other is a huge part of what we do and a huge part of our communication. So for me, like the satisfaction of just hearing a customer making their transition towards sustainable fashion via our products or just learning from us is so rewarding. Well, given that we calculate the impact and we compare it to conventional garments, our savings can seem really massive. And I think what shocks the customer is realizing that fast fashion has such a huge negative impact. I mean, like all of those facts that are thrown around, like it takes 2,700 liters of water to make one single cotton t-shirt, like it might not speak to people so much, like how can this be possible, And so I think what I find really interesting is when you turn that data into relatable information, like days of drinking water saved or cars off the road for a day. That's really when the customer kind of clicks and they get that comparison. Green Story helps me really translate my data into relatable information, which is it's visually endearing and is also kind of updates in real time. So if I have loyal customers that keep checking back, I think it's kind of like almost this challenge that we set for ourselves, and me as a brand and customers themselves, they want to be part of the savings. They want to help reach that golden number of days of drinking water saved or of t-shirts diverted from landfill. Sometimes we get our customers just because they love the style of what we make, and then the widgets and the eco impact is just an added bonus, which is great. But some of them are just I think they love seeing the accumulated savings in their cart in the checkout process. I think there's a little like I don't know, morale boost that happens, empowering the customer to realize that their purchase can make a difference. And when I sense that they're getting that satisfaction from just feeling good about their consumer habits, that's really rewarding to me.